Manchester United finally are back in action this Saturday. Jesus, that was a long international break, and everyone looking forward to this massive match for Manchester United up against Newcastle. Perfect game for Manchester United at Old Trafford. Really looking forward to it. So many fans absolutely fucking buzzing for this match for Manchester United. With the return of Cristiano Ronaldo, it couldn't have gone any better really in terms of the stature of the match being at Old Trafford for Cristiano Ronaldo's first game back at Manchester United. Now, 3 o'clock kickoff. It's going to be a packed out stadium, and both sets of fans are going to be absolutely buzzing to see Ronaldo back in action. Now, he only played one game on international duty, so he should be fresh and raring to go for Manchester United. Now, we have got problems to deal with in the team, and how are we going to set up with Cristiano Ronaldo? In my opinion, definitely starting this encounter for Manchester United. There is no question about that, in my opinion, that he will start the match. Now, how do Manchester United go about lining up for this match? Now, it's a bit of a tricky one for Manchester United, because we do have a couple of, well, we have Fred out and McTominay potentially out of this game, so the midfield is going to be a bit different maybe to what Manchester United would normally, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would normally pick. Whether he changes up the formation and that, I'm not too sure, but I've got a feeling he's going to go, obviously he's going to go with the normal back four for this game, including the goalkeeper in David De Gea. Been in good form, David De Gea, this season, so he's going to keep his place for now, at least. Anyway, the back four pretty much picks itself for Varane, Maguire, Shaw and Wan-Bissaka. It's midfield where Manchester United and the attack where Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could change it up to accommodate Cristiano Ronaldo in the starting lineup. Now, Paul Pogba's played his best football so far for Manchester United on the left hand side of the front three, and he's come back deeper in the last game and wasn't as effective in that game. But I'm expecting Solskjaer to, I would personally go for the three in midfield: Pogba on the left, Bruno on the right, and McTominay in the centre. But McTominay has returned to training, but I think he's going to be unavailable for this encounter, so I reckon he's going to go for Matic in that midfield role alongside them two. And then I'm going to go for Edison Cavani down the middle. He's had quite a while training now. He came off the substitutes bench in the last game against Wolverhampton Wanderers, so he should be raring to go. I think he's then going to go with Cristiano Ronaldo on the left hand side and Mason Greenwood on the right hand side. At this moment in time, Mason Greenwood has become undroppable at this moment in time. In about his last 10 or 11 games in the Premier League, he's scored about 10, I think it's 10 in 12 or something, or 10 in 11, I don't know, something like that, something crazy. He scored nearly a goal a game in that period anyway, and it's mental at this moment in time. 3 in 3 this season. He's scored decisive goals in that game against Leeds to put us 2-1 up. Scored the decisive equaliser in that game against Southampton, and the decisive goal to win us the game against Wolves. So he's been definitely our best player this season so far, and at this moment in time he's become undroppable, and you can't bring Sancho in on that right hand side, or that's where he's going to play Greenwood in this game, which I would expect him to do. You can't bring him into the fold for this one ahead of Mason Greenwood, because Mason Greenwood has been in fine form, and Sancho did apparently have a knock in that game in the previous one, in the knock in the training with England in this previous week. So he has come back to training, but I just think that Solskjaer is probably going to leave him on the substitutes bench for this one, maybe bring him on, and there's a good chance that he will start against Young Boys in the week, because this game's a Saturday game and that's a Tuesday game, so the turnaround is quick. And then I think the following week, I think we've got a double header against West Ham in the league and the League Cup, so there's going to be a lot of games to play between the next few months because of the Champions League and that. So the likes of Greenwood, Cavani and so forth will get rotated and rested for certain games in the coming weeks. I haven't even mentioned Anthony Martial, who was apparently quite good in the games for France during the international break, but there's no chance of him starting this game. For me, there really isn't. He is now coming quite far down the pecking order because he's now become behind Greenwood in the pecking order. He's going to be behind Sancho in the pecking order. We know that. He's going to be behind Rashford in the pecking order as well. And at this moment in time, he's probably behind Jesse Lingard in the pecking order because he's been playing well. I mean, he was playing well on loan at West Ham. He's come back. He scored goals in behind closed doors games for Manchester United. He scored goals for England. He's in fine form himself, so he'd probably be behind him. So but that does give Manchester United a lot of options, because if you've got Martial and Sancho and potentially Jesse Lingard all on the substitutes bench for this game at the weekend, if this game's going fucking wrong, or one of the forwards gets injured or something happens, Manchester United can switch it up and bring 3 more on. I mean, if Manchester United were winning 3 or 4-0 in this game, we could take a couple of the forwards off, give them a rest for that game in the week against Young Boys. So it does give Manchester United a lot of options, and we can rest and rotate a bit quicker, and he can make more substitutes in this game. But the fact that we haven't got probably no McTominay or Fred in this game is a bit of a concern, because I've said that he's going to go for Matic in that midfield. I just don't think that he's going to go for Van der Beek in that midfield position. That is my personal opinion. It could be different. He could go for him there. It just doesn't seem like he's going to do that. I've got a feeling that he probably won't play these next few games, and he'll play in the League Cup game against West Ham. But that's my honest opinion. Probably does deserve some minutes, but he's got to be performing when he does play. A number of times he hasn't been up to his best when been given the opportunity, so that has been a problem. You've got, when you're getting limited game time, you've got to be at your best. He was okay in one of the pre-season games, it was at Everton, but you've got to be doing that in a competitive game when given the opportunity. And if he does get given the opportunity, he's got to put a 7, 8 out of 10 performance in. He can't be putting a 3 out of 10 performance in, because that's basically going to say to the manager, alright, you've given me a chance and I've just fucking thrown it away. So he's got to put in a good performance. We know he can put in good performances. He put them in at Ajax. He says that he can play the number 6 and number 8 role, but he's played the number 10 role as well, so we will have to see. I still think that he was the replacement for Paul Pogba, and the fact that Paul Pogba's never left, it's made it a bit difficult for him to get into the team, and I think that's where Solskjaer sees him more in a more advanced role, maybe an 8 or a 10, maybe one of them positions, and Pogba's sort of better further forward. Pogba's not a 6, if he's more of an 8 or a further forward player than that of a 6, and so that was why I think he was the replacement. But he could still fill that role in the 6th position, because we don't have a certified player in that number 6 position. So obviously the talk's going to all be about Cristiano Ronaldo, but I've gone for him playing on that left hand side. I think that might be where Solskjaer goes for him in this game if he does play Cavani down the middle, but there's going to be a lot of opportunities for Cristiano Ronaldo to play down the middle at times. We know that Cavani's not going to play every game either for Manchester United this season, and there's going to be a lot of rotation happening between Cavani, Ronaldo and Greenwood for that number 9 position this season. I mean, there's going to be about hopefully 60 odd games for Manchester United this season, and that will be enough to rest and rotate and to give players a chance. And with Greenwood being able to play out on the right hand side, he's comfortable on the left hand side and down the middle, it gives Greenwood a lot of options to play in the Manchester United first team, and Ronaldo's flexible as well. I think he can still play on the left, right and up front. He's so good. He's not the same player he was before. He's not going to sprint past players, beat 4 players and throttle it in the top corner, but I mean, he's become a deadly poacher in that box, great in the air player, but I still think that if you play him on the left hand side or the right hand side, you're still getting a quality player, and a lot better than the likes of Anthony Martial, in my opinion, if played out on that wide area. And that's where I think he probably will start this game. Now, I think Newcastle got a few injury problems. Callum Wilson, I believe, could be out of this game. That's a massive plus for Manchester United if he doesn't feature in this game, because he's their best goal scorer for them. St Maximus is probably their best player, but he's the one that scores the goals for Newcastle, and without him, I think they're a hell of a lot weaker up front. I'm not too sure who they're going to play up front. Joe Linton maybe will play up front. I'm not too sure what they're going to go for, but they don't really have a replacement for Callum Wilson up front, in my opinion. So I mean, Dwight Gale could play, but in my opinion, Dwight Gale's shit. But I'm saying that he's probably going to come back and haunt Manchester United now, but just not, certainly not on the level of Callum Wilson anyway. And Callum Wilson was at one point even in the England squad. That was how decent of a player he was. He did lose his way a little bit before he did sign for Newcastle, but last season he did get a number of goals for them, and he's a very important player for Newcastle if they are to get into that top half of the table at any point over the next couple of years. They've really got to keep him scoring goals, so that is going to be their main threat of them two players, causing problems with St Maximus. And obviously if Callum Wilson does play, it will be the threat from him, but there is rumours that he won't play, which will be a positive for Manchester United. And if he doesn't play in this particular game, I think Manchester United will win this game. I really do. I don't really see where the threat is going to come from. They lost their first game of the season against West Ham, which I saw, and they weren't, I mean, they did score a couple of goals, but they let 4 in. I mean, not good enough from Newcastle. And at this moment in time, they do look like a team that will probably finish in the bottom half of the table unless things dramatically change at this moment in time. I am going to expect Manchester United to win this game. I'm going for Manchester United to win this game 2-0. I don't think it's going to be a hammering, but I think Manchester United will get over the line in this one. I think the firepower of Cristiano Ronaldo, the form of Mason Greenwood and Bruno Fernandes in there, and Paul Pogba in there, and maybe Edison Cavani or Sancho. Some of these players are I think will just have too much from this Newcastle team. I really do, especially at Old Trafford. The place is going to be absolutely buzzing with the news that Cristiano Ronaldo is signing. And when we saw what happened when we brought out our new signing Rafael Varane on the first game of the season, the place was electric, and it just lifted the Manchester United team to go out there and to smash Leeds. And I expect Manchester United will do the same and beat Newcastle only about 2-0. I don't see it being a hammer in this one, but anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. But I still think it's going to take a bit of time. The last couple of games have been a bit sluggish for Manchester United, so I would expect it to take a bit of time for Manchester United to get going and to get over to some of their best form. But in the next couple of weeks, I would expect some better run of form to come from Manchester United. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, share the video if you're watching it on Facebook, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See you.